Hello and welcome to News Central TV. I'm Darshan Usman. The top stories this hour. 34 embassies in Abuja face closure over non-payment of ground rent. Ijebu indigents turn out in style for iconic cultural festival. Security forces block Cameroonian opposition MRC headquarters in Douala. Details of these stories and more shortly. We begin the news with the story surrounding non-payment of ground rent in the FCT, where 34 embassies in Abuja could be shut down by the Federal Capital Territory Administration on Tuesday over unpaid ground rents dating back more than a decade. According to the FCTA publication, several diplomatic missions have not paid their ground rent since 2014. The list of defaulters includes the Ghana High Commission, Defense Section, the embassies of Thailand, Côte d'Ivoire, Russia, the Philippines, Netherlands, Turkey, and Guinea. While some other institutions previously listed, including the People's Democratic Party, the Federal Inland Revenue Service, and the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, have now settled their debts, these foreign missions remain in default. On 26th of May, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike directed officials to begin enforcement on over 4,700 properties previously revoked over non-payment, some overdue by as much as 43 years. But following a presidential intervention, President Bola Tinubu granted a 14-day grace period for affected parties to clear their arrears. That grace period ends on Monday. Unless the embassies act swiftly, the FCTA says it will proceed with enforcement from Tuesday. We now take you to the modern market in Makurdi, Benue State, where traders and grain merchants say they're struggling to source food items. Now, this comes as attacks on farming communities have disrupted supply routes and halted cultivation in several local government areas. Many of the women here say the fear of violence has kept farmers off their lands this season, a situation that could worsen food scarcity in the coming months. In Agbaho, a community in Ughelli North local government area of Delta State, residents are gripped by fear and frustration. Now, women in the community say 26 children aged between 4 and 10 have gone missing under mysterious circumstances. News Central's Austin Azu is in Agbaho and brings us this report.
Hundreds of women a few days ago took to the streets of Agbaro, Delta State, in a peaceful protest, raising the alarm over the disappearance of 26 children in their community.
This thing too much. Our children begin to lose, even those in a goat or fowl. The owner go find her. If you not see her, you go begin to panic, the waka all about, they swear. Talk less of say human being. So now we begin cry that day.
Lucky Iriga and his wife, along with another parent, Vero Lucky, recounted how their 2 children vanished without a trace while playing outside after school.
Since on 29 of this May, came from school around 1 o'clock, maybe around 12, na KG3. Around 1 o'clock, after you must have shove in it, go play around the environment. Now from there, I see my pikin. From that day to today now, today is Sunday, which is making 10 days in, I never see my pikin. And money when I don't wait concerning this issue, don't pass 100,000. I never see my pikin. My wife, in all this son, myself, I know this son. Every shop say I don't fit the shop now, unless I see my pikin. If I fit get us of mind.
I feel they sleep and they fine now. Let me see they sleep.
Just sleep, wake up for us, me and her. We just come outside. they call they fight for our compound. One boy with one girl. They call they fight for our compound. The pikin even stand for me. Where they fight. Well, after the fight, because they fight that fight inside my house, we call come outside. A moment that fight stop, at that moment I just start to fight that side.
The big questions remain: who is behind these disappearances? And what measures can be put in place to better protect children and ensure the safety of Agbaro's residents?
I'm working with people, children. They let deal with 20 children that lost. I'm working with people that sack. Children are not scam.
The government should do something about it. I'm not happy hearing it that 26 children after carrying pregnancy for 9 months. It's a very sad news. They need to bring more ends to enable these things to stop. So they should bring strong security in Agbaro.
In response, the local government council chairman has scheduled a security meeting for Tuesday aimed at finding urgent solutions to the rising insecurity in the area. So far, police has not issued any official statement regarding the reported abduction of the 26 children. In Delta for News Central, Austin Azu.
Contrary to viral reports circulating online, former Chief of Army Staff, retired Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai is alive, well, and residing safely in Abuja. And that's according to his close aide and former Army spokesperson, Brigadier General Sani Kukasheka Usman, retired. In a statement released on Monday, Usman dismissed the rumors as utterly false, calling them the work of mischief makers out to stir fear and confusion. He stressed that Buratai was not attacked in any way, contrary to what has been falsely reported by some online media outlets. Usman added that the retired general, who also served as Nigeria's ambassador to the Republic of Benin, marked the recent Eid celebrations peacefully in Abuja, surrounded by family, friends, and well-wishers, and has remained in the Federal Capital Territory since. Now we have our correspondent, Umar Kirawa, on standby to give us updates on this development. Umar, thank you for joining. Please, can you bring us up to speed on this development? Umar, if you can hear me, go ahead and bring us up to speed on this development.
Yes, the development is that the former Nigerian Army spokesperson, Brigadier General Usman Kukasheka, has dumped information going around that the former Chief of Army Staff, Buratai, was attacked. Based on intelligence information that I have gathered, I spoke with some people who are in the community, and based on what they told me, there was an attack on the community. However, they cannot ascertain whether the Chief of Army Staff was on the route to that area or not. But the area, particularly between along from Yobe to Buratai, heading to Biu, has been one of the areas where insurgents continue to cause havoc, continue to kidnap persons along that axis. One of George in Maiduguri was abducted along that axis, and many others were abducted. So many people were attacked. However, based on the information that Brigadier General Kukasheka, retired, is given, there was no incidence of attack on the former Chief of Army Staff, that he is healthy and well in Abuja. In fact, he celebrated his Eid in Abuja based on the available information that we have for now.
All right, now you talked about, a judge and some other people being attacked. Is it from this recent attack, or a previous one?
No, it's not recent. It's not recent. It's previous abduction and previous attack. The axis has been one of the recurrently attacked areas by insurgents. That is why sometimes people do not follow that route. They rather follow alternative routes to head to Biu or Buratai for their safety and so on and so forth. But by and large, the axis from Bunyadi to Buratai, from Maiduguri to Dambua, these roads have been one of the dangerous roads that continue to cause havoc on people, on Nigerians. And the government really need to work hard to ensure that the remnants of the terrorists who are marauding those areas are cleared so as to ensure peace, because they continue to, very improvised explosive devices which continue to kill people day in, day out, particularly on the Maiduguri-Dambua road. And of course, the Bunyadi to Buratai to Biu is another area of concern that security forces and the government really need to work hard to avert unfortunate incidences of improvised explosive devices and attacks here and there.
All right, so what are the casualty figures for this most recent attacks, and has anyone come out to claim responsibility?
Well, for now, there are no more details with regard to the casualties of the attack, but based on the intelligence information I had from my sources, terrorists tried to infiltrate one of the military bases along Bunyadi to Buratai, and with reinforcement by the air component, they were able to deal with some of the terrorists. In fact, I was told that some vehicles were burned down of the terrorists and so on and so forth. But in the meantime, much details are not available for now. So we'll continue to dig and then find out what really transpired so that the world will know what really transpired there, and of course for people to know the development that is happening not only in that area but across Borno, across the northeast, and of course across the Lake Chad region.
Well, we will be expecting an update on that. Thank you so much, Umaru, for that.
Thank you.
Well, that would go on a break. When we come back, the news continues. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. We now take you to the modern market in Makurdi, Benue State, where traders and grain merchants say they're struggling to source food items. Now, this comes as attacks on farming communities have disrupted supply routes and halted cultivation in several local government areas. Many of the women here say the fear of violence has kept farmers off their lands this season, a situation that could worsen food scarcity in the coming months. We have our correspondent, Sagir Ibrahim, live at the market, and he joins us to hear directly from the traders. Sagir, thank you for joining. What is the situation of things where you are at the moment?
Good afternoon, Dashin. Good afternoon, viewers. Thank you so much for having me on the news. I'm currently at the modern market in Makurdi, the Benue State capital. This part of the market where I am is known as the village market. It's known as the village market because this is where ordinarily you should get food items like sorghum, maize, cassava, processed cassava, and the likes of that. Now, it's currently raining here, so of course it's not easy to see all of their wares outside because they've covered them so it doesn't get damaged by the rain. Now, we had conversations with some of these market women, and they had explained that they've had to, source for their commodities from alternative sources because the farmers here in the state have been unable to go back to their farms due to the incessant attacks. Now, I'm going to be speaking with some of them live, and you'll be hearing their take. Currently, I'm at the stall of one of the women leaders in the market. Her name is Madam Esther Moro. She will be giving us updates on the situation. Good afternoon, Madam Esther. Yes, thank you so much for joining us on the news. So we were talking earlier about where you get your items and your commodities from. You spoke to me about the fact that some of these items that you have now are storage, items that were stored in facilities for quite a while, and you expressed concerns over getting fresh products the moment that these supplies, deplete or finishes. So can you just talk to us more about it?
Thank you very much for this interview us. Now, all these items we are selling, we do storage before, but as of now, there is no any other items for village come to us again. Now, the one where we do the storage, now we sell it. So after I said it, there's no one. Even this time, they're supposed to bring it now. But some people, where they have it, they can keep it to eat it. Because Fulani cannot allow them to do any other things. So the one where they have, they cannot sell it, then keep it to eat it. If not, after that, if they can bring it out for sale, but now there is no more any other thing to buy.
Okay. Now, Madam Esther, I know you have some of your customers or some people who you buy from who are farmers from the different local governments, across the state. Can you talk to us about the state of those farmers who you usually buy from at the moment? Are you still buying your commodities from them?
Okay, before, the market we are going to buy it, they go Bajimba to buy millets and some corn. They go Kadroko and buy it. So as of now, if you go Bajimba, you can seek millet, but there is no corn again. But to Kadroko, no any other things again, except the one where they do storage. You can see it, buy it. And sometimes they go Naka, but now because of Fulani matter, we cannot cross go Naka now. Except now Makodi here, the one where we do storage. Now we manage.
Okay. Now, there you have it from Madam Esther. Madam Esther has told us what the situation has been, talking about being unable to access some certain areas where she would usually get these items for. But Madam Esther is not the only person that has complained about, these attacks. We also have Mrs. Onoja. Mrs. Onoja is someone who also sells grain, and she's right here with me. Mrs. Onoja, good afternoon, ma. So yes, ma, you're live on the news, and I wanted you to speak to us about the situation and how it has been accessing commodities in the market from farmers, particularly at the current moment.
Okay, what we are experiencing now is that the goods are no longer in the hand of the farmers. We are getting goods from those people that did storage. And because of that, you know how it will be. And this thing happened because of this Fulani issue. Because most of the farmers are now in the town with us, even going about begging for food. They don't even have to eat before they will even sell to us that are selling. So we used to buy most of our goods from those that did storage. That is the station that we have experiencing now. And in fact, it's really affecting the business. Not allow our business to flow. And the money again is not entering our hand because of the situation. Okay, now, can you talk to us about accessing some of these villages that you usually go to get your items? Has it been easy to access some of these communities? In fact, those villagers now, most of them are not even at home. So the goods that we get from them, most especially yam, you cannot get yam from the villagers again. It's in the hand of the middlemen or middlewomen. And because of that, it's very expensive. Very, very costly yam. So
if, for example, I wanted to buy like 100 pieces of yam, what's the price range that I'm looking at?
It will be as from 200, 300, 4, 5, 6.
100,000?
Yes, per 100 tubers.
All because of the insecurity?
Yes. Because most of them left their farm and Fulani burnt their crops or their yams. So, and because of that, those people that did the storage are the one bringing out for us to buy. And you know what it means? Because of that, all things are going up. Things are going up. Instead of coming down as they are speculating, that the price will fall. Instead of falling, price are going up because of this situation. And it's equally affecting us as a business person. Going to the village now to buy things, we cannot afford to go there because your life, you are not sure of coming back. If you go, whether you come back safely, we don't know. So it's better we stay in the town and buy from the middlemen.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Onoja. Well, Dashin, this is what we are getting here, the fillers that we are getting here at the village market, in the modern market in Makurdi, the Benue State capital. Talk about access to food items, not just food items, but fresh food items, so as to crash the prices of food commodities in the market. Well, they say that has not been possible, and they've been relying on those who have been keeping these items in storage facilities and have now been bringing them out to the marketers to buy. But access to farmers who cultivated this season and sell to them has not been possible due to the insecurity in the state. These are the fillers that we've been getting from here. Back to you in the studio.
Well, it's quite a sad situation, Sagar, and we do hope that, the government does, something about the insecurity in Benue State. Thank you so much for your update.
Pleasure being on the news.
Now from Benue, we move to Kano State, where the government has asked the federal government to provide compensation to the state over the cancellation of the annual Durbar celebration. Kano Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Tajo Usman, made the plea during the traditional paying of homage by the Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi II, to the governor of Kano State. Uthman said the Durbar cancellation has led to significant economic losses. Durbar is a festival held during Eid al-Kabir and Eid al-Fitr celebrations. It begins with prayers followed by a parade of the Emir and his entourage on horses. Our News Central's Emmanuel Bagudu now joins us on the news to give us more updates on this. Thank you for joining, Emmanuel. Can you tell us what reasons has the Kano State government given for requesting compensation
Thank you so much.
from the federal?
Yes, there are 5 carnivals that actually happen during Salah here in Kano. And that, of course, that carnival normally attracts international tourists. Of course, investors come into the state to come and be part of the carnival, thereby spending a lot of money, increasing the revenue generation drive of the state. And that has not been happening. And then, of course, the Kano State government believes that it is a huge loss because the Durbar, the Salah Durbar in Kano has been declared, has gained the status of the UNESCO heritage, cultural heritage. That status is a very big status that actually, make the state, put the state in the international scene, bring investors to come into the state during the festive seasons. And they take flights, they buy a lot of things, they spend a lot of money in Kano and thereby creating jobs and, of course, increasing the revenue drive of the state. And then the preparations that the Kano State government have put in place, the Kano State Emirate Council have put in place, have all gone down the drain. Everything is now a waste. This is not happening. This is not happening for the first time. This is the second time this is happening. And they are not finding it funny. And they feel they should be compensated for all the loss that they have made while preparing for this Salah. And then they feel that what their citizens should have benefited from, what the state should have benefited from in terms of revenue generation drive, should be compensated because this carnival is being cancelled. Yeah, thank you.
What about the local communities and stakeholders? How have they reacted to the cancellation of this year's Durbar festival?
Yes. Their reaction is also negative because they believe that it's intentional. They mentioned it clearly to me. Most of them said it clearly to me that the Durbar has even happened during the worst situation of crimes. During the days of the Boko Haram, where there are bomb blasts here and there, of course, there was Durbar Carnival, there was Salah Carnival. Why now? They believe that it's because of the Emirate clash. So they believe that politics should be kept aside and then everybody should be allowed, to have a level playing ground and Kano should continue to enjoy its terrorist status. So the citizens are not happy about the situation. They believe that it's intentional. They believe that it has nothing to do with security issues, but the security operators know better. Of course, they claim that it's actually as a result of intelligence gathering, it's a result of some vital information they got that made them to actually cancel the Durbar celebration. But the Kano State government is making it clear that they should be compensated, that the money they have spent so far, and that what they have lost in terms of revenue generation drive should be compensated. And the citizens also, are on the same page, and they believe that this should not continue. And they also make very important point that they are trying to send their culture into extinction. That's a very serious allegation. They believe that their culture is going to go into extinction, and that the carnival has been existing right from the colonial days, and that should be maintained. And the federal government have no reason whatsoever next time to cancel it, so that Kano will continue to have that status of a nation city known with a very fascinating cultural brand. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely, Emmanuel. I do remember, attending the Zaria Durbar at some point in my life myself. But thank you so much, Emmanuel, for that update.
Thank you.
Away from that, President Bola Tinubu on Sunday met with Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu at his private residence located in Ikoyi, Lagos. Sanwo-Olu's visit to Tinubu followed that of foremost Yoruba monarch and Ooni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi, Ojaja II. Our News Central correspondent Bettina Nweli reports.
The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, while addressing the press, applauded President Bola Tinubu on key economic and infrastructural achievements. Sanwo-Olu made this known to newsmen during his visit to the president at his Lagos residence.
Earlier today, I don't know if you had seen it. I went to unveil our new Blue Line trains at the National Arts Theatre, which we just received brand new, 12, 4 sets each of 3 new set of trains for the Blue Line. And at that unveiling, which was we made like a naming ceremony, we actually acknowledge and thank Mr. President because he actually made it happen for us.
He also added that the planned protest by civil rights groups for June the 12th is baseless and unnecessary.
We are hearing people also say in June 12th, they want to protest. They want to then. There's what will be the basis? What will be the basis? And we're engaging them. We're talking to them to do what? In 2 years, give this president enough more time. The economy, you can see, has made a proper bend, a positive bend, and so all we need to do is to continue, to wish him well and see those effects,
Speaking on the alleged rift between himself and the president, he says that they are rumors and unnecessary speculations by people who are crying more than the bereaved.
There are people that believe that they are more Catholic than the Pope. There are things that you see people, they cry more than the bereaved. Father and son, are things that will always ensure that, there's nothing at all. My father is my leader, and we're grateful that he has given us the audience today to come in and say hello to him.
Foremost Yoruba monarch and Ooni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi Ojaja II, also informed pressmen the purpose of his visit to the president.
It is opening up a lot of developed nations to come to Nigeria. In history, there is no arbitrage again. You bring dollars to Nigeria to do business, you take it out. No dual exchange between the central bank and the parallel market. The world is watching us as a nation, and we don't need to leave everything to the government. We traditional rulers should lead by example.
With continuous positive appraisal and show of support for the president from different corridors of power and different parts of the country, political experts will be keen to know the strategies the opposition will adopt leading to the 2027 general election. In Abuja, for News Central, Bettina Nwili.
Hundreds of Ijebu indigents stepped out in vibrant traditional attire for this year's Ojude Oba Festival, a spectacular showcase of culture and color. Renowned for its regal fashion, age-grade parades, and dramatic horse-riding displays, the festival attracts thousands from across Nigeria and the diaspora. Now, Ijebu Day is alive with energy as dignitaries, tourists, and returning natives converge for an event that blends cultural pride with economic activity. Beyond the fanfare, the Ojude Oba remains a vital platform for promoting local heritage, tourism, and trade.
Ojude Oba Day is a festival, and it has become a carnival now. It has started over 20 years ago. People come from all walks of life, and a lot of people from the diaspora. That they have turned this into a major carnival. It is arguably the best traditional homecoming and coming to the palace to pay traditional rites to the Kabiyesi. All over Africa, this turned out to be the best. Millions of people are in Ijebu as we speak for the commemoration of Ojude Oba Festival 2025.
Very, very colorful. It's a real carnival. And I'm proud of my, for my state, the state and my, what they call it, Ijebu. So Ijebu state, we are looking for it. And we will take it more and more in Ijebu state. We saw all the families, we saw Tukur, we saw Balogun. Mr. Farouk.
For you, did it meet up the expectations?
No. Hits limits.
What about you?
All hits limits.
Well, it's been cool so far, actually. You understand? And it's just that anyway, it's one is moving.
Come on, the horses were here.
But then, man, it's been really awesome. The performance of our horses, they did well, and the mode of the dressing. You know, as seeing me, I like the agbada that I put on this. I just remove it. If they can control the crowd a bit more, so that won't be okay. It was fun, really. I'd always been fun right from my childhood. So that's why I enjoy coming. Whenever I'm around in Nigeria, I believe me present here is a pleasure. And normally, you know, there must be something being added every year. This year, a lot of things change. While I believe next year, so many things will be changed.
Meanwhile, Ogun State Governor Dakwa Abiodun says government will continue to create opportunities for the people to excel. The governor stated this at the 2025 Ojude Oba Festival in Ijebu-Ode on Sunday. He described the festival as a dynamic tool for tourism, youth engagement, and entrepreneurship. Abiodun also said that the festival was more than a celebration, but a symbol of communal harmony and cultural heritage. He said his administration was encouraging access in Ijebu-land and across Ogun State through the provision of infrastructure, enhancing educational and digital facilities, upgrading the healthcare infrastructure, and supporting local enterprises. In the agricultural sector, Vice President Kashim Shettima has flagged off the deployment of over 300 refurbished tractors in Borno State. Now, the tractors restored by Naseni under the National Assets Recovery, Refurbishment and Redeployment Project are part of efforts to strengthen mechanized farming and boost food production. News Central's Umar Hirawa reports.
It's the peak of the rainy season, a critical window for large-scale farming across much of Africa. In Nigeria's northeast, Vice President Kashim Shettima is leading a major push to improve agricultural output in Borno, a region long impacted by insurgency.
The data at our disposal shows that Nigeria currently holds over 26,000 units of broken down but serviceable heavy-duty equipment and nearly 500,000 component scraps that can be restored or repurposed. This contrasts with the stark reality that we have only 7,000 to 12,000 functional tractors in a country that needs 2.4 million tractor units to meet our food production goals over the next decade. These figures are a reminder of what must be done, a reason to have a national inventory of value waiting to be unlocked.
The government's goal is to cut production costs, reduce the price of staples in local markets, and stabilize food supply across the country.
Our mechanization drive has faced serious setbacks, especially following the devastating floods of September last year, which damaged a significant number of agricultural machines. That is why today's intervention could not have come at a better time.
Borno is not only agriculturally strategic, but regionally important. From the Sahel to the Lake Chad Basin, the state supports a wide range of crops, millet, sorghum, cowpea, sesame, maize, and rice, and plays a key role in livestock trade across West and Central Africa.
Enhancing security for farmers to ensure smooth agricultural production remains a course that must be achieved for effective value addition.
Professor Babagana Umar has graciously procured totaling 351 units of implements and equipment, which were designed to match the capacity of the refurbished tractors.
Beyond agriculture, the Vice President also commissioned a new power project at Borno State University, part of efforts to enhance learning conditions at the institution. Maintaining these newly deployed tractors for both dry and wet season farming and ensuring steady power supply at the university will be crucial to delivering results. In Maiduguri for News Central, Umaru Kirawa.
The news continues in Central Africa, where security forces in Douala have blocked access to the headquarters of the Movement for the Renaissance of Cameroon, the opposition party led by presidential candidate Maurice Kamto. Kamto was prevented from entering the party's headquarters despite the presence of a large number of supporters gathered for a scheduled meeting. The police maintained a strong presence around the building, effectively barring entry to both Kamto and his followers. Now, the move has heightened tensions as the MRC continues to face restrictions amid ongoing political challenges in Cameroon. Supporters expressed frustration over the inability to access the party's base, which has become the focal point for opposition activities.
Nous sommes dépassés, que la force de l'ordre nous empêche d'aller au siège. Nous sommes dépassés. Il avait demandé, l'arrêté du préfet a dit que les gens, les motos ne vont pas entrer, mais les piétons doivent entrer. Nous sommes dépassés.
Zambia is observing 7 days of national mourning following the death of former President Edgar Lungu, who passed away in Pretoria, South Africa, while receiving treatment for a recurring condition. Lungu died from complications related to achalasia, a disorder caused by the narrowing of the esophagus. Now, the Zambian government has ordered flags to fly at half-mast until 14th June, with all entertainment activities suspended during the mourning period. Lungu served as president from 2015 until 2021, when he was defeated by the current president, Hakainde Hichilema. But his death has stirred controversy. His family claims he was denied timely access to treatment and argue that he had been allowed to travel sooner, or had he been allowed to travel sooner, he might still be alive. News Central spoke with members of the Lungu family in South Africa. Let's take a listen.
Tributes continue to pour in following the passing of the former Zambian President Edgar Lungu, who died in Pretoria Hospital on Thursday after receiving medical treatment. Many have held President Lungu as a selfless leader who stood for Zambian people. In his condolence, the President of South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa, said South Africans are standing with the Zambian people in this difficult moment. To speak more of President Lungu's passing, I'm joined by Makebi Zulu, the family spokesperson. Good afternoon, sir, and thank you for joining us. And my condolences. Please, how is the family holding up?
Hardly, but we are doing better under the circumstances. We continue to mourn our father, and in mourning our father, we're cognizant of the fact that he was also the father of the nation. He was also a former president of the Republic of Zambia. And having been here from January until this time, thanks to the South African people for the support that they've offered him, the Zambians for the support that they've continued to offer him. In the meantime, families started making arrangements for his repatriation so that he is given a befitting send-off back home in Zambia. And for purposes of that, they recounted how he came into South Africa. After having quit politics in 2022, he had requested the Zambian government that he be accorded medical attention by his doctors who ordinarily dealt with his ailment here in South Africa, but the government did not give him that opportunity. In 2023, when the doctors requested him to come here, he made a request to government. Government responded and said they did not have money for that purpose. He responded to them and said he would use his own money. But on the 7th of September 2023, the government said, we will not allow you. They denied his request. At some point, he tried to come on his own accord for medical attention. Unfortunately, he was ejected off the plane. So 2024, though he would complain and couldn't get treatment locally, doctors would travel into Zambia, check on him, but said they would do a better job if they had access to equipment that they ordinarily have in this country. A request was made, but that was denied until early this year that he chose to travel.
In business, the Federal Executive Council has approved a 10-year National Urban Development Policy to guide Nigeria's urban growth. Announced by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, the policy introduces metropolitan planning commissions to manage cities that span multiple local governments. It also embraces the 15-minute city concept aimed at creating walkable, mixed-use neighborhoods with easy access to services like healthcare and education. Now, the NUDP seeks to reduce congestion, cut emissions, and enhance urban living, reflecting the government's push for sustainable, inclusive urbanization in response to Nigeria's fast-expanding cities. Nigeria's federal government says that removal of petrol subsidy by President Bola Tinubu has saved Nigeria over $84 billion, ending decades of fiscal hemorrhage. A policy explainer by the National Orientation Agency revealed that the funds redirected from subsidy payments have financed 40 critical road projects nationwide over the past 2 years. It added that the move averted economic collapse, boosted capital expenditure, and stabilized state economies. The document highlighted that Nigeria's subsidy bill peaked at 4 trillion naira in 2022, a 700% surge before the policy shift in May 2023. Still in business, Nigeria's electricity distribution companies recorded a revenue shortfall of 202.61 billion naira in first quarter 2025, despite a 106.68% year-on-year surge in billing to 761.91 billion naira. According to the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, the DISCOs collected only 559.3 billion, reflecting a collection efficiency of 73.4%. Although the volume of revenue increased compared to first quarter 2024, the shortfall more than doubled from 77.03 billion naira. This highlights ongoing inefficiencies in bill recovery and wide performance disparities among DISCOs, raising concerns about sustainability and investments in Nigeria's power sector. In the world of sports, a Nigerian quarter-miller, Samson Nathaniel, impressed at the Znamensky Brothers Memorial in Russia, clocking a season's best of 45.55 seconds to finish second in the men's 400 meters. Nathaniel narrowly lost to Russia's Alexander Masyutenko, who won in 45.39 seconds. The 2019 African Games bronze medalist continues to build momentum ahead of the African Championship and Olympic qualifiers. In the hurdles, Faith Osamuyi placed 5th in the women's 100 meters hurdles with 13.36 seconds, while Wisdom great Musa finished 7th in the men's 110 meters hurdles in 14.12 seconds. And despite challenging weather in Zhukovsky, the Nigerian athletes gained crucial experience on the European circuit, setting the stage for stronger performances in upcoming meets. Uriah Rennie, the first black referee in the Premier League, has died at the age of 65, according to the Sheffield and Hallamshire County FA. Born in Jamaica and raised in Sheffield, Rennie made history in 1997 by officiating a Premier League match between Derby County and Wimbledon. He went on to referee over 300 games, including 107 in England's top flight, becoming a symbol of representation in English football. Rennie retired in 2008, and it was not until 2023 that another black referee, Sam Allison, officiated a Premier League match. Earlier this year, Rennie revealed he had become partially paralyzed due to a rare medical condition. His contributions to football continue to inspire referees and players alike. Still in sports, Filipino boxing icon Manny Pacquiao has been officially inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025. Now, the ceremony took place at the Turning Stone Resort Casino in Verona, New York, marking a major milestone in Manny's storied career. Recognized as one of the greatest fighters in boxing history, Manny was enshrined in his first year of eligibility. His extraordinary 26-year professional journey began in 1995 and ended with 62 wins, 8 losses, 2 draws, and 39 knockouts. Well, that's all at this hour. But before we go, let's take another look at some of our top stories. We told you that 34 embassies in Abuja face closure over non-payment of ground rent. We also told you that Ijebu indigents turned out in style for iconic cultural festival. Finally, you heard that security forces have blocked Cameroonian opposition MRC headquarters in Douala. Remember, you may send your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on the screen. Do follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. You can watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422, GoTV channel 23, Star Times channel 274, Avo TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I'm Darshan Usman.